At Voxterra, our goal is not just to design a beautiful yard. It's to help you finally get a yard you love. That's the tagline on our website, and it's the foundation of everything we do. We don't just work with you to finalize a design for your yard. We help you carry that plan into construction as smoothly as possible, and we're there to support you as your yard actually gets built. Because the difference between a project that runs smoothly and a stressful one are these key decisions that must be made before a shovel ever goes into the ground. So the number one item, and this has to be addressed first and foremost, is understanding your property. Now that means a few things. Now, first of all, that means a full understanding of the city codes and, if applicable, HOA codes that will be the letter of the law when it comes to deciding what can be built. Now, it is common that a lot of our clients do have a cursory understanding. A lot of our clients understand setbacks, structure or swimming pool needs to be set back X amount of feet from a property wall. But some lesser known ones that actually have a huge impact are something like lot coverage. It is interesting that a lot of our clients, even though they've gone through the whole process of purchasing their home, at some point have never been told that their lot could have a lot coverage requirement. Now, to speak very simply to what that means, and it could be a lot requirement for the house itself or a total lot requirement. Now, to define that very simply, it just means that there is a square footage limit on what we can build. Now, this can drastically impact your design because typically it is a percentage of the square footage of your lot. Sometimes it applies only to the house, but sometimes the house and the area we're allowed to build in are lumped together. So I would advise anyone, if you're watching, if this is the first time you're hearing of this, go right now and check to see if this applies to your lot. Because like I said, it's so important to understand if this applies. That means that you could have a huge acre lot, but if the lot coverage is 30%, then we do have a very small area that we could build on. Another thing we need to understand is, are there any easements? An easement could be for drainage, or it could also be for utilities, but it's also kind of a no-go zone when it comes to building. Sometimes we can put plants on top of it, but also it needs to be understood where it is and defined. The reason why it's so important to start here is that sometimes it's so easy to look at this gorgeous yard that someone else may have and say, I want exactly that in my space. And it may be that it's not even an issue of budget or vision, it's just simply that given the restrictions that your specific lot has, that would not be possible. And we do often get clients that ask, well, is there any wiggle room? Are there any gray areas? Yes, there can be, but it's super important that you work with a team that goes through with a fine-tooth comb, because if these things are not noted from the get-go, it can lead to headaches and heartache later, because the worst thing that can happen is that you have a vision of a design that you absolutely love and there's no way to build it because the city simply will not allow it. Now, the second thing to understand is budget. Obviously, we work with all types of budget, lower budget, mid-budget, unlimited budget, but we want to make sure that we're always keeping touch with reality when it comes to numbers, because at the end of the day, we could design the Taj Mahal, but if it doesn't meet the budget, at the end of the day, it's just going to be a pretty picture and it's never going to be built. So we always want to make sure that we're keeping budget in mind. And for those that work with their preferred builders, making sure that that is a part of the design process, that we're always getting real world, real-time numbers for the design at hand. That way it's not something that's been finalized and then the budget comes afterwards. Both of those things are part of our initial design process. Now, let's say we've discussed all those things, those are all squared away, we've done a design reveal, and you absolutely love it and you want to sit on it to think about any revisions that you may have. One of the most surprising things we've seen is that this is where a lot of projects lose steam. There's so much excitement for the initial reveal, to get to that initial vision, to see, wow, what's actually possible for my yard, and then life happens. A lot of clients' lives get busy, things come up, and then the design goes by the wayside for an indefinite amount of time. Now, we advise to take around 2 to 3 weeks, really sleeping on the design, really making sure you thought about everything when it comes to lifestyle, meeting the budget, making sure that it has all the features that you want before you come to the revision stage. But, and this is a very important but, we want to make sure that the design does not become dormant, because, and this is fairly common, we have a reveal, the clients love the design, they're excited about it, life gets busy, and then this project goes by the wayside for 3, 6 months, or even a year. Now, why is that an issue? Well, obviously, the clients have decided to invest a lot into bringing this to life. It's really hard to come back and keep the project moving. It has to go through almost a relaunching phase just to bring everyone up to speed. And in the meantime, the whole project has been delayed, and it's easy to second guess the decisions you had already made. So we fully understand life happens, life gets busy, but we always encourage our clients as much as possible to not linger too long in the revisions phase, because once again, if it's dormant, just sitting there, it's very hard to come back and even remember where everything was without a big reorientation process. Now, let's say you've moved through the revisions, you're sold on the design, you thought about everything. What are some other things that are very important to understand? Construction timeline. And this is something that I think kind of goes on the back burner in a lot of our clients' minds, and we want to always remind them that the build timeline is lengthy. It will have its own delays. There's going to be a submittal phase. It's going to be a submittal to the city, a submittal to the HOA. The HOA submittal may actually take longer. That could be in and of itself a month, 2 months, or longer before any shovels can go into the ground. Now, let's say you're well on your way, shovels are in the ground, you've already submitted, you've got an approval. What are some other delays that could come up? Well, let's say the city needs to give approval. So you're waiting for an inspector to come, and actually construction can't continue until that happens. So it's important to remember that there are kind of built-in delays. Even after you got approval, there's not going to be any project that's going to be able to run continuously, because there are delays that are just built into the construction process. Now, I think everyone knows that, and I think that's why everyone thinks of construction as very frustrating. So how do we minimize that frustration? By being as upfront and honest about timeline as possible. So when our contractors are discussing with our clients the timeline, we always want to make sure they're very honest, because a lot of times our clients say, you know what, I have an important anniversary party we're having here, or we're having a very important kid's birthday party, so I need to have everything finished by this deadline. It's very important that if there is a deadline, that's actually thought of during the design phase, because once again, always remembering there are going to be inevitable delays in construction. Even talking about materials, let's say everything else goes great, now it's ready to order the materials. Oh, this material's on backlog. Either we could find an alternate, which is also going to take a little bit more time, or we just have to wait until it comes in. The more time you give yourself, especially if you do have a specific deadline you need to make, the less frustration you're going to have along the way. Because we know this is so much technical information, but it's so important, we actually created the exterior design investment guide that goes over everything I'm talking about in detail, really highlighting the important things that you need to understand as you embark on this exciting process. This also helps you understand your construction budget and gives you some examples of real life budgets. Planning and preparation are the key to a smooth building process. And it's so important to understand all the different elements that can impact both time and cost once you start building. If you're ready to work with our expert design team to not only create a beautiful design for your yard, but also to make sure you're ready to start construction, click the button below to start your project.